Hello guys, welcome back. I'm here for another video. So this is the inaugural episode of a series I'm going to start doing called Blu-Ray Breakdown. And essentially what I've decided to do, because I've noticed my Blu-ray updates have been getting a little bit too long. I think my last one was like 20 minutes long, and then, they're usually at least like 15 minutes long. And I need to just start shortening them. So what I've decided to do is, on my Blu-ray updates, I'm just going to show the titles and just keep it quick, not talk too much about them. And then I'll use this series to actually go in-depth on the movies and what I think about them. And another reason why I think this is good is because this actually gives me a chance to watch the movies. Because usually with the update, I pick them up and then I do the update without watching them. But with this, I can do the update, give it about a week, watch all the movies, and then I can come here and talk about them and what I thought about them. I think it's be much better this way. I think this is just going to make it much better. Then hopefully my updates won't be any longer than like 10 minutes long. So, right here I have a stack of movies from my last update. I didn't watch all of them. This isn't all the movies, but I think this is most of them. So we'll start with Trick or Treat. The one I was so excited to get. Definitely lived up to the hype, in my opinion. I've seen nothing but good things online. This movie's been recommended to me several times. I've heard nothing but good things, and I definitely agree. It definitely lived up to it. This was such a fun movie. I love horror movies, but I really love movies that take place on Halloween. And this movie is all about Halloween. I mean, it's everything. It's all about Halloween. So I'm definitely going to be making this a Halloween tradition. I have my I have horror movies that I watch throughout October, but then I have certain movies that I watch on Halloween, and that would be John Carpenter's Halloween and Nightmare Before Christmas. And I'm definitely going to have to throw this one in there because on Halloween I watch movies that are about Halloween, take place on Halloween. And this is a perfect addition. I was so pleased with this movie, really. I was so pleased. It was very fun. A lot of good cinematography, too. And, a lot of surprises, a lot of twists and turns. And it was just, the whole thing with the principal. I think that was, like, pretty early in the movie. And that scene really sucked me in, That scene where, the scene where the kid on the porch, he just starts puking up blood. I mean, that actually made me gag. I thought I was going to puke when I saw that. If he was just, like, throwing up for whatever reason, it'd be like, whatever. But the fact that he was throwing up blood over and over again, too, it never stopped. Oh, man. That scene was just so disgusting. But, yeah, just a very fun movie. A lot of good twists and all that. It's just really, really fun, really enjoyable. Definitely a Halloween classic. Glad to get that. So next we got Cloverfield, which I picked up at a pawn shop for $4. I watched this last night, and I gotta say, I did enjoy it more than the previous time when I watched it. I definitely enjoyed it more. It didn't make me sick this time. At first I was kind of like, it took me a while to get used to it. It took me about 10-15 minutes to get used to the whole shaky cam thing. But once I got used to it, it was fine. I think the monster is really well done in this movie. Just a lot of really good effects. Just really well done monster. Really, the explosions are really cool. The way they did these, I kind of want to watch the special features on this because the way they did the effects in this movie are just so well done, in my opinion. A lot of really funny moments, a lot of good humor in this, mainly from HUD, the cameraman. And, so I definitely enjoyed this. I think I'll probably make this an October movie, October, one of the movies that I'll watch in October, because along with 10 Cloverfield Lane, of course. Very fun movie. Okay, so this one I did touch on quite a bit in my update, When Harry Met Sally, but there's just a couple more things I wanted to say about it. I said it was a very relaxing movie, very heartwarming, very good movie, but I wanted to say also the writing is very good. Billy Crystal, just everything that guy says, it's just, it's very interesting. It's just, you know, listening to him talk in this movie is just so interesting. It's just so riveting, and the writing is phenomenal. Directed by Rob Reiner, fantastic director. And another thing I wanted to say is the picture quality, or PQ, whatever you prefer. The PQ on this Blu-ray is phenomenal. I mean, in that very first scene in the movie, where, you know, you're seeing the old couple talking to the camera, right when that scene started, I actually said, wow. I mean, I vocally, I said, wow, because the picture quality just blew me away. I mean, this movie was made in what, 1989, and just mind-blowing. The picture quality is so fantastic in this movie. If you like the movie, definitely get the Blu-ray. That's what I got to say. So, good pickup. Alright, so next up we have A Million Ways to Die in the West. I watched this a couple nights ago, and I hadn't seen it for about 2 or 3 years, probably. And I gotta say, I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed it. I thought the story was pretty decent, and there was definitely a couple really funny moments, but overall, there was a lot of dull moments in this movie. There was a lot of jokes that just missed their mark, so to speak. You know, there was a lot of really dull moments where I just wasn't even smiling, and it's a bit disappointing, you know. I mean, you know, like I said in my last video, I'm a sucker for anything Seth MacFarlane. Anything Seth MacFarlane related, I'm in. You know, I think the dude is just so hilarious. I think he's one of the funniest people of our time, you know. His humor style is right down my alley, you know. It's just perfect for me. And, you know, Ted was hilarious. Ted, that movie just cracks me up. It's probably one of the funniest movies I've seen. That movie had me in tears, laughing, literally. And then this movie he comes back with, and it's a letdown, honestly. It's a disappointment. Nowhere near as funny as Ted. But overall, I'd probably give the movie maybe a 6 out of 10, if I'm being nice. Because I did enjoy it, I'll be honest. There was a lot of funny moments. What I really liked was Liam Neeson. I loved how he didn't even attempt an American accent, you know. He said fuck it, didn't even try for it. But yeah, so overall, it definitely had its moments, and I'll definitely be keeping it, and probably rewatch it every now and then. So, there you go. Alright, next up we have a double feature. 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street. Picked this one up at a pawn shop, this one at 2nd and Charles. Now, I watched these on back-to-back nights, and I enjoyed the hell out of these movies. It had been a very long time since I'd seen them. It had been several years since I'd seen them, but rewatching them, I definitely enjoyed them. You know, I think, and I'll be honest, I think this is a rare case, at least for me, where the sequel is better than the original. I'm gonna be honest. I think 22 is better than 21. And it seems a lot of people agree with that, though, from what I'm reading online. A lot of the critics agree with that. And it's just, you know, both of these movies just had me dying. You know, both of them are just hilarious, so funny. But the second one, 22 Jump Street, killed me. I mean, I can't even remember the last time that I watched a movie, and it just absolutely killed me like this movie did. The scene in particular that I recall that just had me dying was the scene when you find out that he's dating Ice Cube, or the captain. He's dating his daughter. And then Ice Cube just goes on a rampage. That, I had completely forgotten about that. It had been so long since I'd seen this movie, I completely forgot that he was dating the captain's daughter. So that came as a complete surprise to me. And that scene killed me. I mean, I don't even remember the last time I laughed that hard. But, great stories in both these movies. Really good writing. I love, you know, the whole cast. Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum, Ice Cube, of course, very funny. Nick Offerman, Dave Franco, great cast. Really funny movies. The thing I love most about these movies is they're extremely meta. And if you don't know what meta means, it's essentially breaking the fourth wall, so to speak. You know, where they take you out of the movie. Like they make references to the fact that they're making a movie, essentially. Like how with Ice Cube they say, like, you know, they walk up to his office and they say it's like a giant cube of ice, and then his wife says that she's straight out of Compton. And then in the end of 22 Jump Street, where it's showing all those sequels and whatnot, I love that. I think that is so hilarious because they don't go too far with it. You know, they don't go so far as to where they're literally talking to the camera. They don't go too far with it. It's just subtle enough to the point where it's just perfect. It's so funny, so well done. So I really love these movies. Really glad to pick them up. Definitely going to be rewatching these more in the future. Moving on. We have 2 more to get through here. Alright, next up we have the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. I watched this yesterday, and I don't know, I enjoyed it. You know, I didn't think it was very funny, I'll be honest. There was a couple moments that got a good chuckle out of me, but it wasn't very funny. I think this is really just a kid's movie, you know? It's really... If you're a kid, I'm sure you'd love this. And I did enjoy it, you know? I'm a big SpongeBob fan, so I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the story. I thought the story was pretty well done. But the jokes just all missed their mark for me. I think the jokes are really for the kids, you know? I just didn't think it was very funny. The first SpongeBob movie, on the other hand, that movie's hilarious to me. I mean, I watched that a couple weeks back, I think, and I still find it hilarious. But this one, the jokes just really fell flat for me. But it was an enjoyable movie. Definitely, the story was pretty good. So I don't know. I'll keep it for sure. You know, like I said, big SpongeBob fan, so I gotta keep it. But you know, just decent movie. What can I say? At last, we have Notorious. Picked up at a pawn shop and watched it a couple nights ago. Enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it. Very well done. You know, like I said, I'm a sucker for music biopics. I love music biopics. And, you know, the thing I love about them most is it seems in every music biopic, the lead actor, you know, the one playing the main character is just so good. It's always such a great performance. Val Kilmer in The Doors, and, obviously, Rami Malek in Bohemian Rhapsody. And, what else? I can't even think. The guy who played James Brown in Get On Up. He was fantastic. Jamie Foxx in Ray. And the guy who played Biggie Smalls in this movie. I can't remember his name, and I don't think it's on here. But he did a great job. I believe he's a rapper himself, from what I read. And he did a fantastic job. I'm not sure if it was actually him rapping. I think it was, because, like I said, he is a rapper himself. But I need to watch the special features, do a little more research. But if it was him rapping, I mean, it was perfect. He sounds exactly like him, and it was just... I thought this was a very good movie. It was very well done. A lot of really good cinematography, good writing, and just a very, very good story. Very... very impactful story. You know, it's just crazy to think how things were back then. In a lot of ways, things still kind of are that way today. Maybe not as extreme as they were back then. You know, where you had the whole East versus West Coast thing, and, you know, when Tupac and Biggie just become enemies, and, you know, it's very sad. It's very sad the way things were back then in the rap world, the rap game. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. And just, you know, it really sucks that things have to be that way. It really sucks. And so this is quite a sad film, I'll be honest. It's very sad. The dude was very young when he died. I can't remember how old exactly. I think he was like 25 maybe. It's just a very sad movie, but very well done. Very enjoyable, very well done. Very glad to pick this up. I didn't know much about the dude's life. I've heard a lot of his music though, and he's definitely great. One of the all-time greats, obviously. But I didn't know much about his life, though, and now I do. And from what I've read online, too, a lot of this movie is real. You know, they really didn't stray too far from the truth. From what I've read online, most of this movie is 100% accurate, at least according to his mother, who wrote a book. So, just very good movie. Very well done. And that's all for this video, folks. So, thank you for watching. And before I end it, I actually have a little announcement to make. Pretty soon here, I think maybe next week, if not next week, definitely within the next couple weeks here, I am going to be doing a Blu-ray bargain hunt, and I'm so excited for this one because I'm heading to Wyoming. That's right, Wyoming. Wyoming, you say? What the hell's in Wyoming? I'll tell you what's in Wyoming. And for those of you that don't know, I live in northern Colorado, so I live about an hour away from Wyoming. Not very far. And the thing that I'm going there for, FYE. That's right, FYE. They have an FYE in Wyoming. They don't have one anywhere near me. I think the closest one in Colorado is about 2 hours away. But in Wyoming, there's one that's only an hour away. And I've never been to an FYE. If you don't know what FYE is, it's, you know, they have it all. It's kind of like Second and Charles. They have Blu-rays, DVDs, vinyls, CDs, T-shirts, collectibles, you know, bobbleheads. I think they might have video games, all that good stuff. It looks awesome from every video I've seen of FYEs. They look so much fun, and I can't wait to go. So that's what we're going to be doing pretty soon here. I'll film it. I'll make a bargain hunt. I am so excited to finally go to my first FYE. And I don't think there's much anything else out there. I think there's a Target. There's no Best Buys. Apparently there's no Best Buy in the entire state of Wyoming from what I looked up. I might be wrong about that, but I couldn't find one. So, but anyways, so that's going to be all for this video, folks. Look forward to that Blu-ray bargain hunt. I'm definitely excited for it. So until then, I will see you next time.